Hong Kong travelled to Tokyo this week for their first Asia Rugby Championship match of 2017. The visitors come in on the back of a strong start in Tokyo last year, and Ben Roberts, who's making his debut run in the ARC, is eager to get started.
I've been watching this championship as a spectator since arriving in Hong Kong 4 years ago. I qualified towards the end of last summer, so I didn't play last year, and every year I see the standard going up and up, and I think that's just good for Asian rugby in general. The games against Japan in particular, we've had some exposure to real high-level teams. You know, we know the success they've had. So when we put in to play against them and exposed to the tempo and the skill level that they play at, it's good, and it really sets a benchmark or a challenge for where we need to be.
Hong Kong begins their ARC campaign in week 3, having had the good fortune to watch Japan and Korea complete their mini-series over the competition's opening 2 Saturdays. However, they'll need to hit the ground running against a Japan side that looks to be finding its stride.
Obviously, we've had probably slight advantage on the other teams because we've been able to watch and get some footage from the last 2 games. Obviously, Japan had a very convincing win last week, a reasonably good win the week before, and it's very much that they play at tempo. What they do, it isn't fancy or elegant particularly, but they do everything at a really high tempo and they're very accurate. So we need to find a way to try and slow their game down a little bit and give ourselves some time to get in the game as well.
I suppose there's 2 ways of looking at it, isn't there? I think we get a chance of seeing what Japan and Korea have been up to the last couple of weeks and see what type of rugby they're playing. So that's an advantage for us, so we're not going in unseen. But then there's a disadvantage, of course, is they're match ready. Japan particularly are hitting their straps, it seems, from the result last week. So yeah, there's pros and cons, but we've made the most of the build-up ourselves of the Chiefs week, where we've had the Chiefs development team in. So we've prepped as well as we could.
Opening a series in Tokyo was always going to be a tough ask, but Hong Kong is entering the 2nd year of a full-time 15s regimen. Both coach and captain are keen for a chance to measure the current status of the national team when they come up against the region's top program.
An emphasis has to be made on slowing their ball down. I think Lee spoke earlier on in the week that both teams have been generating very quick ruck ball. So I think a target has been to recycle their ball within 3 seconds. So that's got to be an area to try and compete at the breakdown. We've got 2 good 7s playing 6 and 7 who can both compete and hopefully try and, like I said, slow their quick ball down.
Is our set piece going to be competitive? We picked a reasonable scrum. Can we win our set piece ball, our line out? Can we win those first phase balls? And then how often we put Japan under pressure, whether it's through the ball in hand, whether it's a ball off the foot. They would be those key little wins in the 80, and then I suppose I'll be smiling if we have those little wins throughout the game.